I want you to stop dreaming, and I want you to just start doing small things.
The thing with a big dream is it gives you the motivation to want to do something.
Well, I mean, you don't really need anything anymore. You need your computer. That's all you need.
Rise and shine, it's Espresso time. Good morning, Believe Nation. It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have an amazing gift inside you that I want to see explode out onto the world. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message. Just start. Over to you, Mel Robbins.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Vicky writes, I'm trying to become a fashion and beauty blogger and earn money from it full time, but I have some kind of mental block and procrastination problem. This is something that we see over and over and over again. And it's this idea that you don't ever start. You stay trapped in your head. And if you feel paralyzed, if you've been spinning the same ideas over and over and over again, then you know what I'm talking about. You see, many of you are thinking way too fucking big. You're attaching way too much pressure on the things that you're interested in. Until you start blogging about fashion, you won't even know if you like it. So thinking that you have a dream about doing it and thinking that you have this grand plan that you're going to do it full time, it is a complete and utter waste of your time to be dreaming that big. And let me tell you why. Because oftentimes, if you're the kind of person like Vicky that's getting trapped up here, the bigness of what you're thinking about is what's stopping you. What I want you to do if you're in Vicky's situation is I want you to stop dreaming, and I want you to just start doing small things. I want you to go back to curiosity and less into crushing your big goals. The thing about life and business and success is that you have to be willing to start. And for people that procrastinate, starting is the hardest part. For people that worry, for people that think too big, starting is the hardest part. Folks that study procrastination talk about the fact that the only way to beat procrastination is to create what they call a starting ritual, which is a way to push yourself to get started. Because all the research shows that if we can push you to get started on something, you'll likely keep going.
So I think it helps to have a big dream, and I think it's really important that you get started right away. The thing with a big dream is it gives you the motivation to want to do something. Having a big goal of what you want to accomplish, right? When you close your eyes and think of that world that you want to create, can be motivating, can be inspiring for you. If you don't have a big dream, a big vision, often it can be hard to get up and going in the morning. And so I think it's really great to have a big dream. The problem though is sometimes that big dream is so big that it's scary. And that you feel, I can't do this alone, I don't have the money to do this, I don't have the resources, I need to go out and raise capital. So for whatever business that you want to build, there's always a big version of it, and there's always a small version of it. And so the challenge that I have for you is, I think you should have a big dream, but then also figure out what's the most immediate thing that I can do to make progress today. Break it down into bite-sized chunks and see today, Wednesday or Thursday, or whatever today is when we're watching this, what can I do today to move a little bit closer on my dream? I see it happen so many times. Entrepreneurs come and pitch me. They have an idea. They want to raise venture capital. They want to raise angel capital. They have this huge vision for what they want to do. But to make it happen, they need to raise $2 million. And because they feel in their head that they can't do anything until they raise $2 million, they don't want to do the small stuff. They don't want to take little actions. And so they're off spending all their time trying to raise $2 million. And guess what? That never happens. They never actually go off and take that big step because that's not how companies are built. Companies are not built giant steps at a time. They're built little tiny steps at a time. And they spend so much time out there trying to raise capital that they're never actually building their business. And so it's great to have that big motivating dream. And as soon as you get an idea for something, find some way to test it out on a small scale immediately today. I look at my business as an example. My big goal, my big vision, I want to solve the world's biggest problem, untapped human potential. It's a problem that will never be solved. It's a lifelong ambition, a lifelong goal for me. It will never be accomplished. In my lifetime, maybe in my son's or granddaughter's lifetime, that's going to happen. But in my lifetime, it's not going to happen. And I love that. It's this big, driving, impossible to reach goal, and that drives me every day. And how do I solve it? I'm here making videos for you guys. I'm responding to people on social media. I'm creating content to help you, right? And so breaking it down to the micro. And so I have a big goal for what I want to accomplish, and then I have a 3-month goal for what I'm trying to do in the short term. If you look back 5 years, I would never have known that I would be doing this. I was doing YouTube videos, I wasn't taking it really seriously. I never thought that I wanted to write a book. I didn't think I needed to have a book. It wasn't in me. I've already written 2 books now. And so I think it's really hard to project out. I don't have a 5-year goal. As soon as I get a 5-year goal, I find a way to start making it happen immediately. As soon as you get a goal, it's like, I wish I could do this in 5 years or 10 years, then find a way to start right now. You don't have to wait for anything. Would it be great if you had $10,000 extra to go and spend on it now? Yes. Would it be great if you could leave your job and go do it right now? Yes, but that's not the reality of the situation. So you have to find a way to start taking immediate action right now to move forward on it. And so I have the lifelong, never gonna happen goal, and I have my 3-month window. And I have no idea where I'm gonna be in 1 year, in 2 years, 5 years, whether it's writing more books, whether I've quit YouTube because I don't like it anymore, whether I've moved on to something else, or whether I'm doubling down and I've doubled my team and I'm all in on YouTube to make it even better. I think that's really important. So for you, if that big dream is inspiring to you, then I think it's great to have. If the big dream is so scary and impossible and it paralyzes you when you don't take any action, then figure out, how do I take some kind of immediate small action so that instead of going here, all I'm doing is taking 1 step. And every day, take it 1 step at a time, and you'll look back and realize that you traveled a long distance. Now I've got a special bonus clip for you, but before getting to that, I want to know your thoughts. Do you agree with me that having a big vision can be motivating and inspiring, or are you in Mel's camp where you feel like you shouldn't have a big goal and only do kind of the small stuff ahead of you to see if that's going to be a fit for you long term or not? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Leave it down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of espresso, and enjoy the bonus.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
On your Instagram, you posted about writing music in the hotel room that is totally 100% you.
I would get instrumentals from songs that already existed. So I have these demos where you hear like the music is from like Born to Die by Lana Del Rey. And I wrote like a whole other song over it.
Wow.
And that's how I basically started to develop my voice as a songwriter. When I got into the studio to really, for the first time, to work on this album, which was January, everybody was kind of, they came in with this attitude of like, oh, I have an idea for you, like, play it for me. And I was like, let's do something from scratch. And they were like, oh, you actually write, like, you actually have a point of view, you actually have something that you want to talk about today. Like, I'm so happy that I started writing those like demos on the road, because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have even had the confidence to be like, oh, I want to do this today, guys, and as opposed to just taking something. But I wouldn't have even known where to start.
Graduated from Stanford, studied African American studies and political science, was heavy into directing and producing plays at school, and then I created my first web series my senior year. Eventually moved back to LA and just started doing all these odd jobs and trying to establish myself as a videographer or an editor, and trying to get work that way, and hopefully by, like, in my mind, by filming weddings and filming, you know, high school talent shows, I'd be discovered by a film director who'd be like, wow, you really filmed that wedding nicely. But that wasn't the case.
Jay? Oh my God, that is you. Wow, I haven't seen you since
College.
Right. This is where people who major in African American studies end up, sweetie.
I'd started a black film blog. I was super into film, I still am. The same types of black movies were coming out with the same type of humor, and it was frustrating, and I was voicing that on my blog, and I remember one comment was like, you complain so much, why don't you make something? And that, like, I was like, oh, well, okay, I will.
How has the game changed with technology in music?
Well, I mean, you don't really need anything anymore. You need your computer. That's all you need. You don't need any keyboards. You don't need anything to produce and to produce. If you know the program, like good quality music, you know. And then obviously you're gonna have to, you have to know melodies, and you know, not everyone can learn that. But it's definitely made it easier for so many people to get into this and get started with it. And a lot of people maybe that before couldn't afford or didn't want to risk buying hardware for thousands of dollars because they didn't know if they could produce or not. But now it's like all for pretty much nothing. You can just download it, and it's amazing.
Things like GarageBand, for example.
Exactly, yeah. Or any of there's so many programs, and it's all about how you work with the program as well. So no, it's just amazing how easy it is to get started now.
Raise your standard.
Apple, at the core, its core value is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me.
I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Hey Believe Nation, if you want to see my all-time favorite top 10 rules of success, I have a very special secret video for you. These are the individual clips that I have personally learned the most from and applied to my life and my business. Check the link in the description for details.